Yo, it's time to shed your skin. This is a rebirth. There is an old emotional skin that's been on you for too long and you've been picking at it and peeling it off. And I feel like this is the planetary pumice stone that is needed to really shed. Period. Ooh, I just saw 27, my lucky number. Welcome. It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general reading for this full moon in Aries that we are having on September 29th, 2023. It will be happening at 3:57 a.m. Mountain Time, 5:57 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's happening at 6 degrees Aries. Oh my gosh! BRB, I forgot one thing. Hit you with the handy dandy Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale. Now, when we're talking about Aries, y'all, we're talking about a pioneering spirit. This full moon is happening on top of, not on top of like a conjunction, but actually, I should have looked at that to see where Chiron is. Chiron's currently retrograde there. We have the North Node that's there, and the moon is going to be there, and this is a brand new cycle for the moon. This is like an emotional start over, a new beginning. This is, and for some reason, I want to say a redo for some of you, like an attempt to try again, the ability to like pursue something else, an ability to go your own way. With this full moon in Aries, we're talking about emotional independence, emotional sovereignty, emotional autonomy. There's this adventure that needs to come, but also the full moon in Aries is going to show you the ways that you have not been putting yourself first, and that is scientifically, emotionally, psychologically, astrologically, like the right thing to do. 1 + 1 = 2, baby. You know, do what you can. We're all just out here trying to get ourselves whole. And you don't get whole by way of another person. Wholeness and happiness are an inside job. And I feel like it's really, really important to just be tuned in and to be in tune with your ecosystem. Because this full moons always are about release. It's about a harvest. It's about, a harvest that you've reaped. It's the seeds that you planted in the new moon germinate in the full moon. And so it's interesting, the last new moon that we had was in Virgo, the sign of I analyzed. And now, and new moons are when you plant seeds. So you're planting seeds of like observation, analyzation, seeds of service. And come this this full moon, 2:22 on the clock I saw, there's mastery. This is about releasing what you've observed about yourself. Full moons are released. Aries is I am. So there is some aspect of you that's just not working anymore. And I feel like it's a really big thing. I was just having this conversation. I'm going to tell you all because y'all my people, I love you. And this is like it's really big, for decades now. I have identified as a high functioning pothead. I'm really not interested in it anymore. I know that like even my channel is geared around like a play on, being high, the High Priestess. And yesterday, I almost didn't smoke weed at all yesterday, which is very, very new for me. You know what I mean? I know that I've been like self-medicating an anxiety thing for a while. But now it almost took a few years to understand, like, I don't I'm living the life that I want. I don't need to numb this, or I don't need to like take the edge off of this because I'm enjoying everything that I'm doing. This was just a muscle memory. This was just a thing that I do and I kept doing, and I don't really feel like doing it anymore. Like, you know, I'm a smoke here and there, but like the way that I was, absolutely not. And anybody that knows me, hearing me say this, they know how a big of a deal that is. Because I usually keep that motherfucking thing on me. You know, I'm always the one who like, I can roll up with nails longer than this. You know, there is just some, I feel like, core aspect of yourself or core crutch or something that you identified with. You're not going to identify with it anymore. It's being released. It's being let go. You know, and so something about your core self is being released. Something about how other people see you is being released. Something about what you show the world about yourself is being released. Your concept of me, you know, your concept of yourself, your self-image is changing in some sort of way. And what you choose to show the world about yourself is changing. So be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising, y'all. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. I'm building a really dope cult over there, so I hope to see you over there. For free shit, check out my Instasham at JustJ_everything, TikTok at JustJEverything, and for other dope shit that I do, my website. And also to book with me and all this stuff and treat yourself, little apothecary stuff over there. JustJEverything.com. So let's get into, I'm not taking this, but the Hangman reverse came out, and I just feel like we are getting unstuck. And it's funny because this is Pisces, and Pisces is vices, it's drugs, it's your mental health, it's, you know, the way that you take care of your mental wellness, it's the subconscious, it's all things behind the veil. I feel like there is a release or an acknowledgement of the root of why you're maybe numbing a certain way, or this just feels like getting unstuck, this aha moment, this freedom that's coming in about like uprooting shame, uprooting guilt out of your life. I just got really hot. This is my winter robe. So I just needed to, like, the fiery passion, I needed to get that out or express that visually so it can be seen. So hydrate, light it if you got it, if you want to, you know, and let's get in. I want to actually start with the handy dandy. And this is happening at 6 degrees Aries. So let's see. I just saw another 27. All right, so Elias Lonsdale's description of the 6th degree of Aries is an aquamarine in a woman's navel. That's very specific. An aquamarine is like a stone, a crystal, in a woman's navel, in a woman's belly button. Sensuous pleasure, powerful passions, body wisdom, impulses and instincts, desires and cravings, and the festive celebration of being alive here now. You are marvelously enraptured with the senses, energetic, vital, enthusiastic, on fire, direct and straight on, candid and willing to release into what arises. Ooh, that's the whole vibe. If you take anything from this reading, be candid and willing to release what arises, because some shit's gonna come up and you gotta be willing to let it go. Impressionable, suggestible, youthful, in touch and in tune with what wants to happen here. Your gut conviction is fiercely strong. You feel driven to be yourself, and by the need to engage with the other completely. You feel driven to be yourself, and by the need to engage with the other completely. You are the one who stands out. who makes a point of it, who is unashamed. What did I just say about shame? Unashamed. Releasing this. I'm telling you, so there's this full moon in Aries, I feel like, is helping you reconnect to like your instincts, your core self, what you know about yourself, who you are. My I am is changing. It wants to express itself. It wants to be free. It wants to be unabashed. It wants to be wild and feral. And there's this sensuous pleasure, powerful passions, body wisdom. Listen to your body. Listen to the impulses that it's giving you. Your body is sending you messages and signals all the time. I just hope that we all take the time to interpret them. Impulses and instincts, desires and cravings, and the festive celebration of being alive here now. That's the most Aries shit I've ever heard. Impulses and instincts, desires and cravings, and the festive celebration of being here now. I need to highlight that because that's a whole word right there. Impulses and desires. Have you been ignoring yours? Impulses and instincts, desires and cravings. What do you desire? What are you craving? How can you get to that point where you're you are having a festive celebration of aliveness? You know, Aries energy is all about the fucking adventure. It's all about like initiating, you know, which is why they're great in the beginning. But let's get into it. Like I said, hydrate, light it if you got it. I want to create a safe space for my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for this full moon in Aries on September 29th, 2023. So I got a few questions, and I just want to dive right into the, I'm interpreting this. I put, what about me needs to go? And I meant that for us, for you. So what about ourselves do we need to edit or we need to get rid of? What is it? This is a general reading, so eat the meat, leave the bones. You know, but what about us needs to go? Nothing flipped out. Justice. What about you needs to go? There could be like this self-righteous thing that's going on. Maybe there's a sense of entitlement. There could be like, okay, your moral compass and your moral standards are not the same as the cosmic realm of justice. So making sure that you're not taking judgment or justice into your own hands. We are not the ones that get to decide what is, right and wrong. I don't play right and wrong, good or bad, light and dark. It's either just or unjust. And we all have a different, personal definition of that. But I feel like it's time to make sure that you stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Like that you're not wishing for other people's downfall, that you're not, acting like you know what's coming to them, or that you're like not on some kind of moral high horse. It feels really important to also make sure that some of us like make decisions really quickly without balancing or evaluating all the facts, all the information. And so it feels like there is something about letting go of like having things be on your timing versus allowing for divine timing. There is a need to Also, some of you, it's a Libra. Or someone that's like a lawyer or a paralegal or in the legal, it could be a Taurus too. I'm asking, like, what about us needs to go? And for justice to come out, it just feels like all this juggling that we're doing about like where we're supposed to go in life. Like there are fated events. There are things that are already like written, already set in stone. Learning the difference between fate and destiny. You know, destiny involves your choice. Fate can only take you to your destiny point where you get to choose and exert your free will. I also feel like be careful trying to exact revenge or to take like legal matters into your hands. Let the legal system do their thing. Let the government do their thing. Let the cops do their thing. You don't be out here like in vigilante mode. Like this quest for fairness. There could be something going on. Please clarify justice. Please clarify that. Break that down for us, please. This ultimately feels like what you need to let go of is the lack of faith. This is like pointing to, hey, there's cause and effect. There's divine order to everything. So, you know, this concept that like, of if I'm a good girl, if I'm a good person, only good things are going to happen to me. That's not true. We are all promised 12 hours of darkness and 12 hours of day, and we will experience both, you know, and we're supposed to. It makes us better people. And I know that a lot of us are in a place of like suffering, but I just feel like there's just so much data to extract from that kind of darkness, and there's information in your suffering, and absolutely, and I'm not saying, oh, God's making you suffer for a reason and blah, blah, blah. No, everybody's going to suffer. But if you're there, you might as well learn something. You know, you might as well observe. And so that's what that feels like. Please clarify justice in regards to what about ourselves we need to let go. There's like, also I feel like some of you are using only your reasoning. Some of us are only using our reasoning mind when it comes to these really big decisions that need to be made. Like there is something about not juggling it within your reasoning mind. Like, I've got to solve this. I've got to figure this out. You know, I feel like there's something about learning how to trust in the God of your understanding and being like, yo, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm going to leave this here with you. And then bam, 10 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. It's like, do you trust in the God of your understanding or nah? Do you trust in what you have faith in or nah? Is your faith just a noun? When does your faith turn into a verb? Like the judgment, the weighing, the measuring, the assessing, the like, I feel like be careful with judgment. I just said this to a client the other day because it's been a very big truth in my life. The things that I've judged, I have been like damn near forced to experience. Like I remember, even down to little things. I remember like driving my brand new car years ago and like talking shit about, not out loud, but even just like talking to my shit like, ooh, boo boo, you need to get that fixed or whatever. Like when other cars would like make sounds or something like that, like whatever it is. And now I drive a 23-year-old truck that makes a lot of sounds and I love it. It's my heart. I love my fucking truck. But like, little things like that, like what you judge, you end up experiencing. So be careful with that. Be careful with judging. Be careful with how much you're, how much control you're trying to exert. Please clarify justice in regards to what needs to go about ourselves. What needs to leave? Like your concept of fairness, I feel like fairness isn't determined by you. What's right and wrong isn't determined by us. You know, there is a higher octave. There is a higher... I just keep coming back to the word jurisdiction. There's something here about... Also, some of you are trying to like pursue something legally. And it's like, just know that the fairest outcome will be made. The fairest decision will be made. Please clarify justice. Justice don't want to talk. It's like I said what I said. Please clarify justice in regards to what about ourselves, what needs to go, what needs to be edited out. Ooh, Jesus. The star. I'm saying, like, we're being divinely guided exactly where we need to be. I feel like some of you are wishing for stuff that it's like what's actually for you is even better than what you're wishing for. I also feel like some of us have been in the place of like, that's not fair. How did they get that? How do they have that? Like comparing yourself. That could be what that is. Like letting go of comparison. Like everybody, we are all on an individual journey, and I can tell you, don't be envying everybody's path. You don't really know what's going on. You just see the Instagram story. You just see the highlight reels. You know, and it feels like vulnerability, stripping down, being bare, being transparent with yourself, healing your concept of intimacy with yourself. Some of us are really like judging the collective or judging other people, or maybe even like poking fun. Just the whole just concept of like taking it into your hands. I'll handle this. I'll take this. No, you're actually co-creating with the divine. So you and the God of your understanding are handling it. So that could be just what that is. Like make sure you know who's running the show, and it needs to be spirit. So what are we doing well? What needs to stay? What do we need to make sure that we keep doing? I don't want this to all be negative. What are we getting a thumbs up on? Six of Swords, being able to turn our back. I feel like this self-editing, the ability to assess whether you've stayed too long or long enough. I feel like you're doing well and getting really harmonious in your mind. I feel like you're doing well with establishing new boundaries for yourself. I feel like you've done well with like protecting yourself, protecting you and yours, maybe especially those of you who have kids. For some of you, like, I don't know where this is coming from, but like leaving was the best thing you could do. Stay gone. The situations that you got yourself out of, the situations that you left, these confirmation burps, and the situations that you left, stay gone. Don't be going back. Your ability to properly move on, your ability to know what you're worth, your ability to move forward, your ability to also turn your back on the bullshit, I feel like is complimentary. Yeah, with the Magician at the bottom of the deck, there is something here about like I feel like you realize you're enough. You know what you want. You've learned a lot about yourself recently. And your ability to propel yourself forward, your ability to stay on track, your ability to turn an idea into an action, and turning a thought into something tangible. Keep that shit up. Keep on keeping on. Keep on moving forward. Your ability to get yourself out of turbulent waters and into peaceful places. The pursuit of peace, your pursuit of happiness. Keep that shit up. All right, what needs to be healed so that we can have healthier relationships? What about ourselves as individuals need to be healed so that we can have healthier relationships? Interesting. This feels contradictory. It's like I asked what needs to be healed individually so that we can have healthier relationships, and some of us need to learn how to fucking stay. It's like we know we got leaving down pat. Now, when to stay and work things out, when to, allow ourselves to not fight for what we want, but like, do you know how to not leave? Do you know how to stick things out? Do you know how to learn how to fight fair? Do you know how to compromise, or how to not get in the grass is greener on the other side mode? Our ability, we need to learn how to merge our passion with our practicality, and I feel like that the source of that is authenticity. When you get real honest and authentic about what it is that you want, and you don't hide it, and you're out loud about it, and you're vocal about it, like, you start to magnetize those things to you. And so be sure that you are being very communicative about what you want, especially what kind of relationship you want. Do you want something monogamous? Do you want something polyamorous? Do you want something open? Are you a relationship anarchist? Like, whatever it is. Some of y'all out here talking about you polyamorous, and you just don't have respect for anybody. You just don't want to respect other people. You don't want to be considerate. So you just need to go ahead and like research relationship anarchy. Because I also feel like some of us are really learning how to spot people who are just all talk. You're learning how to identify somebody who just says what they think the other person wants to hear. Some of us are like, she a runner, she a track star. And I feel like you need to learn how to not lace up your running shoes at the first sign of distress. And I can identify with that. You got to show me a piece of an orange flag. And I'm like, skirt. You know what I mean? And so I understand that, that's different for everybody. But I do feel like there is something about being able to like own when you see a red flag, own when something really is a red flag, or if you're being dramatic. I also feel like being able to like trust your gut and assess, when people tell you their intentions or show you who they are. Do you believe them, or do you like stay in the fantasy of like what it is that you want them to mean by saying that? Or are you staying in the fantasy of what you want them to mean by, because they did this thing or whatever? Like, allow yourself to be real. We need to allow ourselves to be honest. And making sure that we're not operating within like, with the rose-colored glasses on. Now to shift gears, what is safe for us to show the world? Because this is Aries, it's the first house. It's about, what you show other people. Wow. That you can change your mind. It's safe to show the world that you're multifaceted, you're multidimensional. It's safe to show the world your emotions. It's safe for you to cry. It's safe for you to get mad. It's safe for you to show your whole self. It's safe for you to also like change the people that you hang out with, or change your the company that you keep, who you commune with. Hydrate. Also, for some of us, it's safe to show the world that, you know, you have an addictive personality. It's safe to show the world that you don't want to be monogamous and that you want to be polyamorous. Safe to show the world that you don't want to be polyamorous and that you want to be monogamous. Safe for you to, also, it's like, it's safe to come out. It's safe to be your whole self. It's interesting. That just made me think of, like, when I came out, everybody was like, duh. But when I started to tell people that I actually, like, realized that I liked men too, everybody was clutched their pearls. There was, like, more hate for me being pan than it was for me being a lesbian. Times have changed since then. That was early 2000s. But, like, it's safe for you to be your whole self. It's safe for you to change your mind. Are there any blind spots about ourselves we can't see? Well, of course, but what are the blind spots that need to be evaluated? What are the blind spots in ourselves that need to be evaluated? Four of Swords reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So there's some blind spot. Okay, with the Fool on the bottom of the deck, there's some blind spots when it comes to, like, you're needing to have more faith. There's some emotional baggage that does need to be released. There are some things weighing you down. I feel like you're needing to get outside more. You're needing to travel more. In the blind spots, I feel like there does need to be more quiet time, more meditation, more stillness, more time to sincerely observe your thoughts. Our blind spots could be in regards to our mental health, could be in regards to our physical health. I feel like we are definitely needing to heal our relationship to food. Your relationship to food is changing. What the blind spots that we're seeing are, there are some issues with self-worth. I feel like there's also some issues with you receiving downloads and information from the divine due to the lack of time spent with the God of your understanding. If you're not thinking the fullness of your thoughts and feeling the fullness of your feelings, and you're not downloading and processing information from the cosmic realm as efficiently as you feel, as you think, you know? And so I feel like the blind spot is, hey, you need more stillness. Hey, you need more quiet. Hey, you need more time in nature. Hey, you need to, like, shift whatever is going on with, like, your consumption habits. Oh, also, it's like, for some of you, like, your dietary needs are shifting. Like, maybe you were a vegan and now you're starting to eat meat again. Maybe you've been a carnivore and you're cutting back on that. There is something about, like, whatever it is that you're going through, someone else is going through it as well. So don't be afraid to, like, share these aspects of yourself. Because I feel like the stuff with the meditation and the food and the getting out in nature, it does have something to do with, like, an issue in the self-worth, or an issue of worthiness, an issue with time management, energetic management. I feel like some of us are really, like, we know the ways that we need to better ourselves, but, oop, Drake came through. I try to be consistent, but I can't. And so some of you are struggling with consistency, struggling with your self-worth, struggling financially. Some of us are struggling financially because of some irresponsible behaviors or thought processes, or self-limiting beliefs that are clogging our ability to, like, make sound financial decisions for ourselves. I also feel like there's a blind spot in, like, your understanding of money. But that whole like what I deserve and what I'm worth, I just feel like that contempt you may have for the divine in regards to what you see other people having versus what you've earned, that needs to, it's time to talk to God about that. It's time to be honest with yourself. Is there like a bitterness there in regards to, or a jealousy there in regards to like what other people have versus what you have? What do we need to pioneer? God dang it. What do we need to pioneer? It's going to be different for everybody. Whoa. 6 of Cups reversed, 9 of Swords reversed, and the Hanged Man. I feel like what we need to pioneer is vulnerability. What we need to pioneer is emotional security. What we need to pioneer is a healthier way to deal with the past, and healthier way to, it's like dealing with the past so we can be present in our present. What did that, dang it, I knew I should have bookmarked it. Impulses and instincts, desires and cravings, and the festive celebration of being alive here now. You are marvelously enraptured with the senses, energetic, vital, enthusiastic, on fire, direct and straight on, candid and willing to release into what arises. And what we need to pioneer, I feel like, is this: it's safe to express that you're hurt. This like smash and dash fucking generation that has everybody fooled thinking that love is just about fucking, and if you double text somebody you're weak, all of that shit is a farce, and all of it is falling away. And I feel like we're entering into a renaissance, you know, where we, like, the best of us, the best of our collective, the best of like those of us who have evolved are really like coming to a surface. And what you need to pioneer in your life and within yourself is allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to feel worthy of receiving, being done with like the old narrative of the past. I feel like what we need to pioneer are like safe places for emotional outpourings to happen, safe places for all people to connect to their emotions. We need to pioneer community. We need to pioneer, bottom of the deck, getting out of our comfort zones and pursuing our truths. We need to pioneer that, hey, everybody goes through this. Everybody deals with this. Everybody has been in this place and will be multiple times in their lives. Everybody. We are promised darkness and we are promised day. You know? And the 9 of Swords reversed, it's like it's time to pioneer healthy ways to get out of that dark night of the soul. Pioneer ways to like see the light at the end of the tunnel. How can you help yourself and those around you understand that, like, yo, this is all a circle. You got this. You're not stuck. You're being held in an uncomfortable position, so this shame and guilt and the fear of being your whole self can get purged out of you. It's time to pioneer freedom. And that freedom starts within you. You free yourself, therefore you can help free other people. It does not go the other way. And so, because this is Aries we're talking about here, we're talking about the Emperor. And so, Everybody's in emperor mode looks different. But what steps do we need to take to get to our personal emperor level? The emperor is reliable, he's strong, he's a servant of all. He is adventure and sovereignty and power embodied. And so the first thing is we get to our emperor level slowly. And it's funny because I think we see people who have like made it and they're in their 20s and they're millionaires or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that ain't their emperor level. That's not what that is. Just having money is not emperor shit. That's not what that is. So how to get to emperor, your particular brand of emperor level is slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. Understand, like, the tortoise won. You know, with the Knight of Swords the Knight of Pentacles coming out, like, you're the dark horse in the race. Nobody may be betting on you, but you will win. You will. And it's completely contingent on your actions and your level of faith. Do your actions match your ambitions? So how you get to that emperor level for yourself is acknowledging all the hard work and details that are required to make this thing happen. It's slow, methodical, like good decisions being made, being responsible, taking accountability for your shit, and providing yourself balance and moderation and being patient with yourself. You know, taking your time to feel your feelings. If you don't want to do something, don't do it because your heart won't be in it and the quality won't be that good, you know? I feel like the steps that you're needing to take are like you figuring out and assessing what's in your lane, what's in your jurisdiction, and letting the divine do theirs. And understanding like there is a flow, there's an alchemy that's needed here. Like mixing and melding of different elements to like make something, to combine those elements and to get you on your way to this new crown. Going from wearing a helmet, and it's like you are protected, you are safe in this journey to your crown. Hey, that's a word. So any messages, let's just free read. Spirit, spill your tea for us, Spirit. What do you have to say for us, to us, for this full moon in Aries? It's just so, like, it's not everything is as it seems. You are safe, you are protected, you have access, you have the access that you need. The divine wants you to, this is the moon is starting a brand new cycle. The high priestess is Cancer, you know, there's the moon. Funny, I say that the moon card on the bottom of the deck, but the moon is Pisces. The moon card is Pisces, it's Neptune. So Spirit wants you to know that you are safe and protected to be honest, be your whole self, to be instinct guided. You are on a way, on the path on the path towards stability, security, really establishing yourself. You are leveling up. You're doing better. So keep on keeping on. I feel like there is a spiritual graduation that's happening though. You know, I feel like the high priestess is asking you to get really in tune with your intuition, paying attention to your dreams, say less, observe more, so that you can start to get real clear about what's going on internally, and therefore you're not so confused about how that's manifesting externally. You know, there is this leveling up you know, a sense of completion that's coming in. Some of you are traveling. Some of you are moving. Some of you are literally graduating from school. Some of you, there may be somebody with Cancer, Capricorn, or Aquarius placements coming in that's going to play a big role. There may be somebody with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements coming in that really, or that came in and really inspired you in some sort of way. Please clarify the High Priestess. I feel like so much of this, because that's the thing, Aries are super instinct based, and so because they have Pisces behind them, they have access to everything, so they are very intuitive. And I feel like we don't talk about the intuitive side of Aries enough, but it's very much so there, and it's one of their superpowers. You just got to get out of this place of judging how that intuition is supposed to look, how these people are supposed to behave, what's supposed to be yours. I feel like the divine has a lot to say to you. They just need access. They need time. They need quality time need for you to spend quality time with them so that you can get the order of operation, so that you can get the instructions. And this is where the instructions come. In stillness and quiet and meditation and prayer. Please clarify the world. There is just this, like, I feel like a shift in work ethic and how hard you're working. A shift in, yeah, I feel like some of us you're going to be traveling way more. There is something about like fuck it, we ball, fuck it, we ride, let's go. Like, just do it. Have the fun that you like. Get back to that instinct, you know. But learning how to differentiate your instincts from your impulses. Please clarify the King of Pentacles reversed. I mean, not reversed. Please clarify the King of Pentacles. I feel like you are growing up. You're getting way more mature, and the emotion and that maturity is contingent on how like honest you are in this emotional outpouring that's coming in. Because the divine wants to hand you the magic wand of manifestation. This is like one of the best cards in the deck that you can get, especially if you're starting something new. And this is a brand new beginning. And you will be getting the physical, spiritual, and even sexual energy that you need to put in the work to free yourself from all of this restriction, from the issues around mental health, from maybe a relationship that you were in, because the divine is about to spin the block on that ass. And they need you aware. They need you bright-eyed and fucking bushy-tailed and buckled in. Because, baby, I love you. You know you got this.